Okay, in this section I'd like to discuss exemptions. What are exemptions and how do they apply to you in your bankruptcy case? Prior to the early part of this year, 2011, a debtor in New York State would only have the New York State exemptions, and although they were fairly good in protecting your assets, they weren't that great. There would be a lot of situations where a person would have a house and was expecting a tax refund and wanted to protect the equity in their home, and therefore had to lose or give up part of their tax refund to the trustee because you could only claim the house or cash, including a tax refund, and not both. But like I said, early part of this year, Governor Patterson, before he left office, signed a new law into effect which allows the debtor in Buffalo or Rochester or New York State to choose the federal exemptions instead of the New York State exemptions. The federal exemptions are very generous, especially if a debtor doesn't have a lot of equity in a home. The debtor is entitled to what they call a wild card exemption that would protect things such as a tax return and any other item that may not be protected, including any vehicles that are above the amount that we're allowed to that you are allowed to protect under the New York State exemption. So an exemption is simply something that you can use under the law to protect your assets. So it's a legal tool or mechanism that prevents your creditors from taking your assets. So with the institution of the new federal exemptions, you can basically protect everything that you own. It's the rare case that I see where somebody has an asset that isn't protected by the federal exemptions. So there's exemptions, for example, for a vehicle, for your household goods and furnishings, for a car. But if your car has a loan on it, for example, you don't have any equity in it. Typically, people don't have equity in a vehicle. But let's say you do own a vehicle and it's worth $5,000. You can protect that vehicle under the federal exemption to a certain amount. Any excess over that exemption amount, you can use your wild card, which under the federal exemptions is $10,821. So it's very generous. But give us a call in Buffalo at 630-5001 or Rochester 272-8958, so I can evaluate your case and give you an idea whether you may have to give up some assets. But again, in the vast majority of the cases, you're going to be able to keep all your assets and get rid of your debt. So it's certainly not an impossible process to get rid of your debts. I see a lot of people are torn about filing bankruptcy, but bankruptcy may be the best option for you to get onto a road of success instead of staying on a road of failure or struggling with your debt that you're never going to be able to pay off, or medical bills that are just astronomical. So give us a call or email me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much.